What is up, JDs and Littleman? How are we doing tonight? Hopefully good. Hopefully swell. Um, yeah, here we are. This is Terarria. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I gotta be honest. Um, Started playing Terraria back when I was just a little lad. When I was probably about 10, maybe even younger. With one of my close friends. He always played it with me on his Xbox, so I've been playing for a long time. I got it on my phone almost a year ago, um, and I've been playing a ton. But yeah, so here are all my different accounts. You can see how much time I've spent. So 50 hours, 40 hours, 24 hours, 112 hours on all these different accounts. So I've spent a lot of time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people probably haven't heard of Terraria. A lot of people probably have. It's kind of 50-50. For people that haven't heard of it, it's kind of just a more complex, deeper Minecraft, but it's a similar premise, building, crafting, beating bosses and stuff. Um, but yeah, it is quite different. There's a lot going on in Terraria, but I will kind of explain things away as it goes. So, I've been wanting to start a little Let's Play with Terraria for a long time, so today I'm gonna do it. Alright, first things first, you gotta make your new character, because as you can see, I have 4 characters. Um, yeah, here's my 5th. I don't really know. Should we randomize it? Let's randomize everything. We're gonna randomize everything 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, fire. Character name. Shaniqua. It's just what came to mind, guys. I don't know why. Shaniqua. Okay, we got Shaniqua. We got Bleep Bloop, Massage Gun, Pant Remover, and Skis, and then Shaniqua. New character, no time spent. Classic difficulty. Let's hop in. Now we gotta make a new world. As you can see, I got a bunch of worlds here. I've spent a lot of time on a lot of these worlds, especially these ones up here. But I will go through those in a different episode at a later date. We're just gonna go classic difficulty, nothing crazy. Random evil, there's 2 options, corruption or crimson. And then the name, I'm gonna just type in G and see what comes up. G-A-R, Garden of the Ballpark. Alright, there we go. Okay, so as this world's creating, like I said, Terraria is basically just a really super duper complex Minecraft, but similar premise. They're pretty good friends, the actual companies themselves. Terraria has 4 main classes. So there is different sets of armor that provide different buffs. Like one will increase your melee damage, another set will increase your ranged damage, and then the other 2 will do different things. So that's basically how you decide your class, is just by choosing your armor and the weapons that you decide to use. And there's 4 major classes. There's melee class, which is more of the swords and maces and up close and personal stuff. We have high defense and a lot of damage, and you're kind of just sitting inside your enemies, beating them up close and personal. The next one you have is ranged. Range is more of a sit back and relax, kind of shoot something. You're still pretty beefy, you're still pretty healthy, you got pretty high health, pretty high defense, but you're not as up close and personal. It's more of shooting. It's going to be more of your pew-pews and what else is there? Bows and repeaters and crossbows, all that good stuff. Third class that we have is Mage, one of my personal favorites. Mage is more of the magic type of stuff. So you have a little bit less defense, so you're a little more vulnerable. So you're going to want to keep yourself at a distance. But this is when you get to use the magic weapons. So you get to use, staffs and spell books and cool stuff like that. And the final one is Summoner. Summoner is where there are weapons in the game. They are called staffs. There's certain type of staffs that actually summon things. For example, early on in the game, you can go around to big old trees, and sometimes there's a finch staff, which is just a little bird. You summon it, and it does damage to your enemies. So summoner, basically, you're summoning stuff, and stuff is fighting for you. This class has typically the lowest defense, so this one is really the one where you're going to want to sit back, relax, and let your minions do the work for you. You can use whips, which will which will make your minions target whatever you whip. But yeah, as you can see, I have had 4 different accounts. The one that had like 100 some was my melee, because melee is considered the most powerful, so it's just the one that I prefer to play on when it comes to doing fun stuff, and it's just the one that I've gotten the most overpowered, so I have all the good stuff, efficient stuff. But no, I have 4 accounts, so I've beaten the final boss. The final boss is called Moonlord, and I've beaten him on all these worlds with a crown. So, beaten the guy on 5 different worlds multiple times, many times, and I've completed all 4 of the major classes. But yeah, so I've been playing the game for a long time, kind of got a pretty good idea of what I'm doing, but here we are, brand spanking new world, Shaniqua, and all this to explore. But yeah, so I'm kind of just going to be explaining how the game works as we go. First things first, again, like Minecraft, I hate to be comparing it to Minecraft because they are completely different, but you're going to want to get some wood. As you can see, we just got a leaf wand, which consumes wood and places leaves. So like if I were to place here, I can make some leaves, sorry. Yeah, just gonna grab some wood, nothing crazy. There's our guide, which is our first NPC. There's a lot of NPCs in the game. I don't know the exact number. I think it's something like 40 or 50 different NPCs. They all like sell stuff, and you unlock them by doing various different things within the game. And you have to make houses for them to stay in, all that cool stuff. But the class that I'm going to be choosing for this playthrough is, we just got a second leaf wand. We're going to be playing as a melee, because like I said, that's probably my favorite, probably the most powerful, and I just think it's a really cool class, especially for a playthrough, just gathering all the melee stuff. And I think being a melee is just awesome sauce. So that's what I'm going to choose. But I'm sure that this will not be the final playthrough I ever do with this game. I love Terraria. I've been playing it for a long time. It's an awesome game, and yeah, I would love to continue to create Terraria content because it's a fun game and I've really liked it for a long time. But yeah, first things first, we're just gonna get a bunch of wood, nothing crazy, and then organize my inventory a little bit. So I'm going to throw this stuff. The thing I really like about this game is they have a trash, so anything that I don't really want... Okay, this slime is upsetting. As you can see, we start with a sword and a axe and a pickaxe, but they're all pretty terrible at first. But yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to throw up some of this stuff, because I just don't need it. Which is a really nice feature, actually. I like that they have that in there where you can kind of just throw things out. Like Minecraft, I hate my inventory gets full, and then I gotta go and, make a lava pit, or find a lava pit, or chest it. Like, it's just annoying. You try to throw it down, and then you actually pick it up again, and it's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so with Terraria, there's a lot of different biomes in the game. Right now, I'm in the forest biome. There's also a desert biome. There's a snow biome. There is a crimson or corrupt. That's the evil. Oh, like there we see the trees have turned purple in the background. Now we are in the corruption biome. This is not where you want to be in the early game. So honestly, I'm going to turn around because I really don't want to go there. Oh my gosh, and now I'm in a hole. And I don't really have a way of getting out. There we go. Nice thing about Terraria is when you die, you don't lose all your stuff. Unless you're playing on like master mode, or I think medium core, you lose some of your stuff. But for classic mode, you don't lose anything. So, well, that was quite the start to the video. But anyway, the first steps, you kind of just grab some wood, and then exploring is always good, as with any sort of game like this. But yeah, ooh, I also just saw some lead, and I've now decided that I want to mine it. So there's a little bit of lead down here, so I'm mining down. You can see my pickaxe is pretty slow right now. My sword earlier when I was killing that little slime is pretty slow. But yeah, it's a lot. It's kind of a mess early game, but we'll get through it. As you can see, slimes are passive during the day, and then they usually get a little more feisty at night. But there's a ton of different mobs in this game. There's slimes. Ooh, and here's one of those big trees I was talking about finding the finch staff in. So this is a living tree. So there's a few of these in every world. Usually like 3 or 4 on each side of the world. Can't see anything right now, but I can make some torches. So here's my little crafting station. If I want to actually make more complex stuff, I got to make a workbench. So now I have some torches at least. I can see what the heck is going on down here. Okay, that's a good start. We got a forceful spear. That'll be useful. Some recall potions, which basically just send you back to spawn. So those are always helpful. Rope is cool. Rope is always really good. It allows you to just go down and up really easily. And then there are some healing potions. So when you get low on health, you can tap right down here by where my cursor is. You can tap down here, that little healing potion button will heal you up. So if you're in a fight with the boss and you get low, you can heal up a little bit, and then there's like a minute cooldown for that. But yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, there's a ton of different mobs in this game. There's slimes and zombies and all sorts of crazy things going on. Oh, I got a calming potion. I didn't even realize I could do that. That's a cool potion. You don't see that very often. But yeah, I mean, these first few episodes, there's going to be a lot of just me yapping about the game and kind of explaining it because there's a lot going on. It's a complex game. Like I said, here's your crafting, and then if you switch down to below this little hammer up here, there's your armor and your accessories. These accessories are going to allow you to have various different buffs to damage or speed or whatever it may be. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, that's the basic premise. So I'm moving around because I have to have this little recording thing on the screen, so I'm kind of moving around so it's going away. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep exploring. Ah, great, I'm in a hole. Okay. In early game mobility, as you can see, I'm pretty slow. I don't jump very high. Later you can get wings and fly around and all that. And I haven't played early game Terraria in a while. I've kind of just been working on one of my worlds, like making it pretty, building castles, doing all that cool stuff, which, like I said, I will go through all my worlds in a different video. But for now, we're going to focus on, locking in here. But as you can see, yeah, everything's pretty slow right now, which is fine. It's early game, I understand. But yeah, we got some lead here, so that's always good. It's a good start. Start getting some armor and better tools soon. There's a lot more ores. Again, more complex Minecraft. So like I said, Minecraft there's only a few ores. There's like, your usual crap. There's like iron and coal and diamonds and, the basic progression. It's pretty simple, clear cut. This game though, there's lead and there's tin and there's platinum and there's titanium and there's cobalt and it runs deep. There's just an absurd amount of stuff. Here's our first accessory of the game. We have an aglet. This is going to increase your movement speed. And as you can see, that first little word is brisk. So it also has a +1 movement speed buff to it. And its natural buff is 5% increased movement speed. But since it has that brisk modifier, it also makes you go even 1% faster. So throughout the game, there's different items. So you can see my spear says forceful, so it has plus 15% knockback. So various items like that will have different modifiers. So there's like, for accessories, you can get warding, which is +4 defense, so that's really good. You can see my defense is right down there in the bottom corner of all the green stuff. There's a little 0 with the shield. Currently I have no defense, so that's kind of sad, but you'll see that go up as I progress throughout the video. Well, the series. It's going to be a long series, by the way, for anyone wondering. Episode 1 is going to be just early game stuff, kind of explaining the game, getting into the game. Next episode, we'll actually probably get into our first bosses, and so on and so forth. But it will take some time. As I said, this game is a deep, complex game. There's a lot to unpack with Terraria, which is awesome, and it takes a little bit of time to get through stuff, especially when you're doing it for content purposes, when you're not just like, all right, do this, then this. And when I'm trying to like go slow and explain things, obviously it takes a little more time to get through stuff, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take those healing potions. I might even take those shurikens early game. Those are not bad. There we go. So, the first boss that we're going to be looking to take on, which will not be tonight, it will not be the next night, it will be a while down the road, but... Oh, anyway. Sorry, I'll get back to that, but here's our second accessory. It's a step stool, and as you can see, it has Intrepid, which gives me plus 3% melee speed. And what that does is I can hold up now, and I'll be able to, like, extend my reaching up, because now I have a step stool. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing early game is getting ready for the first boss, which is the Eye of Cthulhu. Now, Cthulhu is like this old ancient god. Giving you the picture. It's spelled Cthulhu. But basically, we're fighting the eye of that guy as our first boss or girl. I can't really remember. I'll be honest with you. But so basically, the first boss is this giant eyeball that you have to kill. So that's where we're headed right away. There's a vulture here. Hopefully, he doesn't cause us any trouble. If he does, we're gonna spear him. While we're here, actually, this is the first night, by the way, which, like in Minecraft, like, it's rough. First night is kind of scary. Come get me, vulture. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get the shurikens out. Watch this. He's about to get shuriken. Yeah. I said yeah like 40 times there. Anyway, as you can see, my life is pretty low. 41 out of 100. Another early game thing is to go caving, not only to get ores, but there's also these things called life crystals. Each life crystal you gather will give you 20 extra life. So if I were to use a life crystal right now, it would take me from 100 life to 120. And it maxes out at 200. But then later in the game, you can also find these things called life fruits, which are also going to help you take up your life an extra, or not 200. Sorry, you can get 2 rows of hearts, and there'll be 20, but it'll be 400 total health. I'm in a really sticky situation right now. Don't love this. There's zombies absolutely everywhere. I'm just gonna try to grab a little more cactus, and then I'm probably gonna die, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. I was slain. I'm dead. First night, like I said, is always kind of a hassle, but we're gonna get back to spawn here, and I'm gonna build a little house with me and Jacob. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the guide, but we'll deal with that later. Alright, we're just gonna make a little simple wooden box house, nothing crazy. Pop a little torch down outside, and then pop a little torch down inside, and here we go this side, and there we go. I made one place like home. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first replace this floor. So the floor is so dirt. I'm gonna add the wood. Okay, maybe I'm not. It takes forever. In this game, you can auto replace. So, like, as you saw there, I can just like hold this wood over the dirt, and it will auto replace it with wood. It takes forever because currently my pickaxe is terrible. Later in the game, I'd be able to just like tap, and it would auto replace it immediately. But for now, it's a little slower. So I'm going to make myself a little workbench now. I'm going to throw that down right in the middle of my house. I'm going to make me a door. I'm going to make myself 2 doors, actually. Oh, I put my torches too low. Now I'm going to break both of my torches because the door has to be too high. Okay, so there's a door on that side. Honestly, that's good enough. I'm not putting 2 doors down because I don't want to. I'm not going to. But here we go. I'm going to place those torches now. Now I'm going to finish this house with some walls. In Terraria, you need to place walls down today. You can see right now, like this is just a box, but you can still see the background of the sky in the back of it. This is not a back wall, and without a back wall, you can't have NPCs living in a house. In order to have an NPC, you must have a chair like that, and then either a table or a workbench. And then it has to be big enough, well lit, and it has to have a background wall. And then you can finally get some NPCs in there. And then you can assign them housing right here, which is below your inventory tab. So like if I tap on the guides icon and then tap here, I could have him move in here, but I obviously don't have a chair right now, which it'll tell me that. Sorry, I feel like this is kind of just information overload right now. Like I feel like I'm just trying to explain an entire game in 10 minutes, and I'm sorry if it seems like a lot. But I promise you will catch on. It took me a while though to learn everything and to have it all memorized. Like it takes a long time to get everything down. So don't feel like you're lagging behind if you're lacking the capacity to understand this. It's a lot. But here we can see why I was gathering that cactus. I can make a cactus sword. I can also make a cactus breastplate and leggings and a helmet. I have 75 cactus, and in order to make an armor set, I need 75. So that is actually really perfect. So there we go. Our first armor set is complete. We have cactus armor. Now, as we will see, each one of these gives me 1 defense, so I have 3 defense now from down here. I have 2 accessories. I have my aglet, which gives me plus 5% movement speed, plus it's brisk. It's brisk. What do you call it? Whatever. But you know what I'm talking about. The modifier, there we go, gives us another 1%, and then our Intrepid Step Stool gives us 3% melee speed, and it allows me to reach higher when I hold up like that. We can also see that this says set bonus. Attackers take damage from the cactus spike. So if I walk outside and I just start taking damage, you can see that they're also taking damage from hitting me. Kind of like thorns in Minecraft. Again, just drawing back to Minecraft. And you can see I'm just like spamming this copper short sword. Because if I hold down, it just attacks once. I really gotta spam hard. Oh my gosh. Okay, and we're dead again. No worries. It's okay. Hey. That'll happen. It's part of life. Anyway. So there's another death. No biggie. I really want this eyeball out of my house. Get out of my house. Perfect. Okay. But yeah, here's my set bonus. So you can see that every armor set will have a special set bonus to it. Or whatever. This is so annoying. I cannot stand the first night. But there we go. Back in our house. Safe and sound. And I need these lenses. Lenses are working... oh my gosh, sorry. Oh, wow. Anyways. Lenses are what is going to allow me to craft that I have Cthulhu summoned. In order to summon it, I'm going to need to make a suspicious looking eye, which requires me to gather 6 lenses and take them into that scary purple biome we saw, and go nice and deep down here and find what is called a demon altar. And then I'm going to use that demon altar to craft a suspicious looking eye. But yeah. I mean, we're just surviving the first night right now. Nothing too crazy. I will report back in the morning. Alright, I may not look it, but we have officially made it to morning time. You can tell from the music change, which is actually another thing about this game. Probably one of my favorite parts about this game is the music. Each biome has a specific soundtrack. Each layer of the underground has a specific soundtrack, because there's the underground layer, which is the layer right below the surface layer. Well, I'll go from top bottom. There's a space layer, surface layer, underground layer, and then after the underground, there is the cavern layer, and then the underworld layer, which is all the way down, aka hell. So yeah. And as you can hear now, I'm in the corrupt biome. You can tell by the change of the background, and there's now the corrupt music playing, which is the music you hear right now. And there's also a corruptor on me, and it's really upsetting. Get out of here. Alright, he shouldn't be bothering us anymore. Okay, he definitely might, but Here's a recall potion, by the way. I'm going to pop one just to show you what it does. It takes me back to spawn. Eventually, we should be able to find a magic mirror, which will do the same thing. It'll take me back home, but instead of there being a limited use, it'll be unlimited. I can use it forever and ever and ever, no matter what. Huh. Okay, he's gone. As you can see, as you can see, these shurikens are pretty effective little things. Might be wondering what this fallen star thing is about. It just falls, throughout the night. They fall all across the world throughout the night. So you will see them just randomly fall. And if you gather 5 of them, you can make a mana crystal, which will allow you to increase your mana, which I'm tapping over here on the right side of my screen. You can see it's only 20 currently, but you can get it up to higher. And yeah. Anyway, first things first, I'm going to make myself a little bit of an arena. You'll hear me say that word a lot during this video or during this series. But an arena is essentially just an area that you build where you're going to fight a boss. And you know, you might want a huge arena, you might only need a small. Like for the Eye of Cthulhu, I fought that little guy plenty, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm not going to make a huge arena or anything crazy, but for some of the later bosses, it is going to be pretty important to have a pretty decently sized arena with these little campfires, which I can make here. Life regen is increased when you're near a campfire. So when you have a campfire down, you're going to regenerate that life a lot faster. And you can also make heart lanterns from those heart crystals I talked about, which is also going to make you regenerate life faster. So there's a bunch of stuff you can add to them to give yourself various buffs and increase your chances of beating said boss. There we go. But now I'm going to make a little bit of NPC housing. So this is going to be the areas where those NPCs I talked about can move in. But I'm only going to make 3 because each... Oh, I might run out of walls here. I might not have enough stone to do this, which is weird because usually stone is, you know, like the most common thing ever. But whatever, we'll just make it ugly. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, each NPC will have their specific biome that they like and their specific other NPCs they like to be around. And if they're in the right biome and they're around the right people, they'll give you better deals. So that's always nice. But the more important thing is if they're really happy, they will offer you this pylon. They'll have this pylon for sale. And this pylon is available when you have 2 or more NPCs in a biome they like, and one has happiness over like 70% or whatever it is. So the merchant and the guide both love the forest. The nurse also loves the forest, and the nurse also loves the guide. So if I were to get the nurse and the guide, speaking of, our guide is getting destroyed by a slime right now, but he'll figure it out, I'm sure. Anyways, so, oh, sorry, I had to stretch. I will get the merchant in here soon enough. Once I have accumulated a total of 1 gold throughout my playthrough, he'll be able to spawn in, which I'm getting close to. 100 copper makes 1 silver, 100 silver makes 1 gold, and 100 gold will make a platinum. So that's kind of how the coin system works. And the coins are literally just for buying stuff from NPCs. That's all they're useful for. Or if you were to acquire the coin gun, it would be used as ammo for that. But, so now that I have some NPC housing, soon enough we should get some NPCs moving in, and then I will buy a pylon and kind of show you how that works. But the pylons are essentially a way for you to teleport around the world. So, for example, that desert biome over there, I could make 3 houses over there, and as long as there's 1 NPC that's really happy, I could buy the desert pylon, and then as long as I'm standing by the forest pylon that I could buy, I could go immediately from the forest to the desert just by tapping on the pylon system. So it's basically just a teleportation system. It's pretty sweet, pretty good stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna make some NPC housing. I just realized that I made this house completely different. It has 2 doors, so I guess this one's my favorite. Oh my gosh, I can't tap on that workbench thing because my recording, like, little HUD is in the way. Anyway, I figured it out now. I probably shouldn't let my guide die. I mean, he will respawn anyway if he does die, but Oh, this house is ugly. The chair's facing the wrong way. It's not symmetrical. You know, I was gonna say I'm just gonna leave it, but I'm actually not because it's gonna bother me for like the rest of the playthrough if I do. And I'm gonna have to fix that wall soon. The fact that it's like switched and different is really upsetting me. But that's a problem for a different minute. Right now, I'm just trying to finish my NPC housing, place each of those doors down, throw some walls down, and call it a day. But yeah, I mean, here are the basic premises. You just go exploring, make some houses for people that you don't know, and then you move in with them, and they sell you stuff, and then you move on, and you beat these big eyes, and giant worms, and massive skeletons, and a wall made from human flesh, and yeah, I mean, you go on, so on and so forth. Alright, you've been giving my guy a little bit too much trouble. Okay, so as you can see here, I can make these wooden platforms, which are basically just platforms that you can like jump through and then go down. If you press down, you'll be able to go through them. So they're a pretty nice little thing. That's what most arenas are going to be made out of throughout this video. And it's also just a nice little way to get around in the early game, since you don't have wings or any way of really jumping that high. My poor guide is getting harassed right now, and he's going to die if I don't help him. But luckily I'm here, so don't you worry about it. But anyways, now I'm going to add on to my roof. I'm just going to extend my roof a little bit, and that's going to be my arena. I'm just going to make essentially a really long line of platform, and then when I'm fighting this giant eyeball, I'll be able to run across this platform and hopefully dodge the attacks that are coming my way. Okay, that's upsetting. I was like just barely like going up, so it was summoning my stool, and it was making me like miss stuff. So I'm unaware of that, but this blue one's gonna make me insane. Sorry if I sound like a robot this video. I am just trying to get as much information out there. I just don't want people watching this being super confused as to what the hell is going on. But I promise as the series goes on, I will start to become more and more myself, actually making jokes, being funny, whatever, because I just want people to get it. I don't want people to watch this and go, I have no clue what's going on, I can't watch this is terrible, see you later. You know, I want people to actually enjoy this, I want people to understand it, I want people to appreciate it. I just don't want people super duper confused as to what they're actually watching. So this video, it's been a lot of information, it's been a lot of me yapping, and for that I'm sorry. It's probably not the most entertaining video ever. But I'm hoping you're enjoying it at least a little bit. If you are, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, all that good stuff, to keep fueling my dreams of becoming a famous YouTuber. But anyways, I'm just gonna make a little, I mean, it's gonna be a simple arena. It's just gonna be 2 layers, and then I'll add some campfires for increased life regen, and then I will go out exploring to actually find the weapons and stuff I'm actually gonna need to kill this boss, because having an arena for the boss is one thing. Having the stuff to kill it is a whole different task. As you can see here, I'm almost done. Just gotta place a few more platforms. But the first weapon I think we're gonna go for is, well, I mean, it really depends. I might go for the Star Fury, which is basically a sword that is going to rain down stars from the heavens above. And I'll be able to find those on sky islands, which are well, basically exactly what they sound like. They're islands in the sky, up here. But in order to get to those right now, I'm going to need to find gravitation potions, which will allow me to manipulate gravity. And then I'll be able to like go upside down and float up to them and find the cool stuff that I need. Anyway, I'm going to place a couple campfires down for increased life regen. As you can see, there's a little buff up here. Cozy fire. But yeah, so I think that's where I'm gonna leave this episode now. We've got our houses, NPCs are gonna start moving in. We've got our Eye of Cthulhu arena. We got some cactus armor. We've got the basics. We've got our intrepid step stool, which who doesn't love a good intrepid step stool? But yeah, this is Terraria, and this is the start of our journey. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to see from me. And, I mean, let me know if you're enjoying the stuff. Let me know what I need to do better. Let me know what I'm doing good on. And, yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Love you all so much. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.